Welcome back, Super Friends. Today we are going to be finding common denominators. What that means is that we're going to have two fractions, maybe more, and we're going to make their denominators become common, meaning the same. So you'll need your math notebook or folder, pencil to write with, and don't forget that super brain of yours. Stay tuned for the video. All right, Super Friends, we are going to find common denominators. We've done something like this in 4th grade, and we're going to do it again for 5th grade. You know fractions are Miss Choice's favorite. They are very simple to do. It's just I got to teach you all the tricks that make it simple. So what's important to note when we're solving these problems for this skill is that finding common denominators means that you want to get the denominators to be the same number. So you're going to have multiple fractions and then you're wanting the denominators to be the same. They won't be the same. You might have some denominators that are 4, one that's 5, one that's 2, and you want to get them to be the same number. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The next thing that we will be doing is making equivalent fractions. That means that you want to make another fraction that has the same value as the fraction that you have now. So let's say if we had the fraction 1/2, we want to make an equivalent fraction. That means that we want to make another fraction that will equal half of something. So like for an example, we can say 4/8 because 4 is half of 8. So that would be the value of 1/2. So I'm going to show you how to do all of these today. For our first example, let's get to it. It says find all the common denominators for 1/3 and 6/9. So what that means is that we need to pay attention to our denominators and find the common ones. Common means the same, right? So we want to find the same denominators for both 3 and 9. So my trick that I do is I just get multiples of each denominator. And then I circle the ones that are the same. That's literally it. So I circle it and then whatever that is, great. And then I look for it in my answer. Usually for these types of questions, you're going to have multiple choice. So you would just bubble in whatever answer you see from your multiples that you have. So let's get started with the 3s. So I'm just doing 3 times 1, that's 3. Times 2 is 6. 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. I'm going to stop here. We could keep going, but I think we'll find a good amount right now. We could go on forever, but I usually stop at the first 3 to 5 common denominators that I can find. All right, now let's do for our 9s. That'll be 9, 18, 27, times 4 is 36, times 5 is 45, times 6 is 54, times 7 is 63, times 8 is 72, times 9 is 81, times 10 is 90, then we have 99, then we have plus 9, we have 108, I believe. So now for these, I just went to my 12s for both of them. Now we're going to circle whatever numbers we see the same of. So right now, looking at them, I'm going to circle in blue. I see 9 up here, and I see 9 down here. So I circle it because they're the same. I see 18. Those are the same. What else do I see? I see 27. Those are the same. 36. Those are the same. And that's it. That's all I see. So the common denominators for 3 and 9 are, so I'm going to call it common denominators. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Let me try it again. Denominators are 9. What was the next one? 18, 27, and 36. So those would be what we would want. And I'm going to put a circle around or a box around my answer. So that's basically what we're doing, guys. It's just a lot of multiples. That's it. Thankfully, we've had enough practice with it from our dividing that we've been doing beforehand. So it just makes our fractions even easier. So it says find all the common denominators. It's just we would bubble in 9, 18, 27, or 36. They might even give you a whole bunch of numbers like 10, 100, 15, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you find is what you put in. That's really it. You might only see one or two of your common denominators, but that's what you're bubbling in. Let's do the next example. All right, super friends, the next example says, find an equivalent fraction to 4/7. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. What we would do is we would write down our 4/7. So we have our fraction. And making an equivalent fraction, guys, just means that we want to make another fraction that is the same value. So whatever value 4/7 equals, we want another fraction that has that same value. And it's literally as simple as just multiplying this fraction by a number. So what we can do, there's so many different equivalent fractions we can do. We can multiply it by 2, and whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top. So now what that equals is what? 8/14. And that's making an equivalent fraction. It's all the same. Equivalent fractions are very, very easy. I like it because it's just like, okay, what number do I feel like multiplying today? I usually start with a small number. It could even be bigger. What if we wanted to multiply it by 5? We could do that. So let me rewrite the fraction again, 4/7. And if we wanted to multiply it by 5, we would just multiply the bottom and the top by 5. Up top, we would get 20. On the bottom, we would get what? 35. Again, that's another equivalent fraction. It's very easy. That's why it says n, because you can do infinite. Infinite means a lot. You can do a whole bunch of different ways, but these would be some examples. I'm going to put a box around my answer. Now, I want to mention when you're doing your problems and you need to type in an answer, which most of them I see are multiple choice, so I don't believe you would have to type in an answer. But the way that you type it on the keyboard is you put the number, you put the slash, and then you finish it with the number. That's what a fraction looks like when we're writing it on the keyboard. Okay, so that's an example. Let's do the third example. All right, this one's a good one. Select all the common denominators for 1/2 and 2/7. So remember how I told us we need to do it. If we're finding common denominators, that means we're getting the multiples for our denominators. So we write down our denominators. I have 2, and then I have 7. So let's write down 7. Let's get our 2's first, and we're just going to go all the way to the 12s. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 6, sorry, wrong color, mischoice, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Now let's do our 7's. For our 7's, we have 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, I believe. Yeah, 56 times 9 is 63, times 10 is 70, 77, and lastly, 84. Okay, so then now what do? We circle the numbers that are the same. So whatever is the same for the 2's, that's the same for the 7's. So do I see any 7's in the 2's? No, I don't. Do I see a 14? Oh, ding, ding, ding. Yes, I do. Do I see a 21? No, I don't. Do I see a 28? You would if we kept going. Let's keep going. 26, 28. Like you know what you can divide by 2. It's just whatever you can double or whatever you can half is going to be a multiple of 2. So for the 7's, we're going to have a whole bunch more that we just don't see. So the 28's, yes. The 42 would be one. Yes, it's just it's not there. The 42 would be there. 56, can I get half of that? Yes, you can. 56 would be there. What's another one? 70 would be there. I'm mostly doing the even numbers. So whatever would be even would be a multiple of 2. And then 84. So whatever was even would be a multiple of 2. Now, with all those numbers that I circled, we have 14, 28, 42, 56, 70, and 84. Which ones are here in our options? Because that's the ones that we would choose. So far, I only see what 2 numbers? The 14 and the 28, right? So that would be it. That's what we want. These are 2 answers. And that's as easy as it is. That's why I love my fractions. I already told you, it's so simple. So getting common denominators is just getting your multiples and circling the ones that are the same, and then finding it in your answer. Let's do our last example. All right, this one you do have to write it down. So of course, pause the video so that you can write it down. It says, Rebecca plays 7/10 of a soccer game. The soccer game is 50 minutes long. Which of the following shows how to find the number of minutes Rebecca plays? So on your question that you're going to see on your little quiz that we have after this, you'll see options. So I told you before, it's very multiple choice. So you're going to already have options. You won't have to think too hard about it. But I wanted to show you how to get this problem automatically. So what you would do, like always, it's important to know what fraction we have. So we would rewrite that fraction. And it's saying that her soccer game is 50 minutes. So what I want is I want to multiply the denominator by something that will equal 50. That's what I want. I'm getting those 50 minutes and I'm putting it as my new denominator. New denominator. Let's see if I know how to spell it. Sweet. Okay, so our new denominator now, right? So what did I multiply by my 10 to get that 50? 10 times what gives me 50? 10 times 5, right? And remember, I told you guys earlier, whatever we do to the bottom number, whatever we do to our denominator, we do to the numerator. So whatever I did on the bottom, I do on the top. If I multiply by 5 on the bottom, I'm going to multiply by 5 on the top. And what does that equal on top? 35. And that's how many minutes she had. So this was a 50 minutes that we had on the bottom, and now this is a 35 minutes that she played. Minutes played. That's our answer. It was very, very simple. You're just trying to see, okay, make those 50 minutes turn into your new denominator, and then multiply your current denominator by whatever number that will let you equal the new denominator. That's really it. So use these notes to help you solve your problems today.